When it comes to serving citizens more effectively, state and local government executives are increasingly recognizing the importance of leveraging modern networks. I'm Wyatt Cash with Scoop News Group, and here to talk to us about that today is Tony Bardo, Assistant Vice President, Government Solutions at Hughes. Tony, thank you so much for joining us. And let me start by asking the question, what are some of the network challenges that you've seen state government agencies face over the past couple of years? And how do you see modern solutions like SD-WAN, for example, helping to alleviate them?
Good morning, Wyatt. Great to be here and happy to answer that question because I've been following it for a while. The states have traditionally incorporated contracts with their incumbent statewide carrier or predominant statewide carrier over the years, and they have traditionally given one contract to such a company. And what is starting to happen more and more is, of course, technology is catching up and overtaking some of the traditional methods and transport technologies that have been used over the years with the states, and are offering the possibilities and the opportunities for the states to take advantage of these new services from new companies. It's okay to have relied for many years on the good old tried and true old Bell operating companies that we used to have for all these years. But now new companies have emerged over the last, when I say new, 10, 15 years, that have brought an array of services such as what you mentioned, SD-WAN, to the fold using broadband technology, which offer the agencies of the states and, of course, their customers, the citizens, opportunities for using these new technologies to get better served.
Well, I'd like to also explore, how do you see the role of managed network service providers helping state agencies improve overall network performance and security compared to trying to deploy just upgrades on their own?
Well, the new group of technologies offers tremendous benefits. First of all, broadband technologies give the opportunities to offer much more power and bandwidth over facilities, and give the agencies, give the states more bandwidth, more speed to be more responsive to customers. But the managed services companies now offer states the abilities to offer a contract to the single source that they've always gotten supplies from in the past. But what they're trying to do now is offer more multi-award contracts. And this introduces continuous competition, immediate competition, and ongoing continuous competition for the agencies to select from a variety of vendors, not just have only one source. And that's the good old copper wire that the phone company used to give you all these years. And now you've got technology such as cable and satellite and Ethernet and so forth. And these bring an array of capabilities to the agencies that they've never had before. And the freedom of choice to say, okay, I'm not just going to stick with the one company that the state gave the contract to over and over again for 4 to 5 years at a time. And now you have much more flexibility for the states to use. And it's really been an emerging trend over the last 5 years. It's not like there's been this swell of sudden overwhelming and nationwide pivot to these multi-award contracts, but it's starting.
Makes a lot of sense. And then what would you say if you are a state agency IT official, what are some of the critical capabilities that state agencies should really keep in mind as they continue to modernize their network? And when you're selecting managed service providers in particular to help them?
Well, it all started really with the next phase of using the 20-year-old, what was called MPLS technology that the carriers brought to the table at the time was very modern, but now is 20-year-old technology. Where in the world do government agencies use 20-year-old technology anymore? They certainly don't with their laptops. They certainly don't with their servers, with their mainframes and so forth. They're always upgrading, and yet here are the states still using 20-year-old telecom technology. This is where things like broadband and SD-WAN capabilities offer the opportunity to use a different transport depending on the application that is being used. For instance, an email can take many paths to get to its source and through the network and through the internet and so forth. And it doesn't have to be instantaneous. It can be received, maybe it's 5 seconds from now. Voice, however, you shouldn't have that latency of 5 seconds. Whereas if you remember the old days when you'd see somebody talking over an old satellite, they'd have to wait for 10 seconds to listen to the full question from the reporter on TV, and then they'd finally give an answer. That can't happen with interactive voice. So voice should go over a path that's selected by the telecom technology that delivers the conversation immediately and interactively and quickly. So you can use different technologies, different transports, maybe more latent transports that will take a little bit of time to get there, but get there nonetheless in plenty of time. And so SD-WAN offers this opportunity to use the right technology depending on how it's being used.
And Tony, talk to me a little about how you see the public and citizens really benefiting from greater, more modern network capabilities.
Well, a public servant serving a citizen, if that has better tools to work with, is going to provide better service to that citizen. If that public servant gets information quicker while he or she is serving a constituent and looking on the screen and getting instant, quick information and getting it delivered faster and cheaper, again, the experience for the customer, the end customer, is greatly improved. What we're talking about is putting tools in people's hands that they can get the job done quicker and more efficiently. The power of broadband, just for instance, the old T1 line costs about an average of $400, and it only gives 1.5 megabits of speed to the worker. And for the same money, you could get a satellite connection, a cable connection, a wireless connection offered in a multi-transport kind of environment, kind of network that gives hundreds and thousands of megabits per second above the old T1 line for the same money. So when we convert a customer in our world serving as a managed services provider using broadband, we're delivering to a state agency much more power, much more speed, path diversity in case one of the paths should fail, reliability, and one of the old adages of why people wouldn't use broadband was because it was broadband. It wasn't that secure. Well, that has changed over the years. So now agencies have secure, reliable, robust, resilient communications that they can use at their disposal to serve citizens. It all works really, really well when state agencies deploy these new multi-vendor contracts.
Well, those are some pretty compelling arguments. Lastly, Tony, what additional advice would you offer state government agencies as they look to ensure their networks, can keep up with evolving demands?
Well, go down the path that Pennsylvania and Texas and other progressive states have done by already implementing multiple award contracts. These two states are are enjoying tremendous benefits. Now, one of the things that I caution about is don't go overboard. There's a state, I won't name a state, that has over 50 vendors that they've approved for services. That could get a little overwhelming on contracting officers and people trying to evaluate. If you've got 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 vendors that are good and qualified, then when you put out an RFP, you'll get those 2, 3, 4, or 5 proposals, and then you're not overwhelmed with having to evaluate 50 proposals before you make an award for a specific agency's need. So I think there's a healthy medium there somewhere that gives the states the right flexibility to move but not be overwhelmed. So I would offer that caution as well.
Well, Tony Bardo, always appreciate hearing your observations on the evolving nature of networks and network modernization, particularly for state and local governments. And so thank you so much for sharing some of your insights with us today.
Always great to talk to you, Wyatt. Take care.